The YouTube channel and in our social media. My name is Alejandra de Leon. I'm a journalist of The Nation, and this is Colombia in 5 minutes. We start with politics. Maria Alejandra Gonzalez tells us the details about the criticism made by the president, Gustavo Petro, to the Bank of the Republic. That's right, Estefania. President Gustavo Petro launched harsh criticisms against the Bank of the Republic, which decided not to lower the interest rates for the month of April. What they say from the transmitter is that there is not enough information about the economic behavior, and that's why they supported the decision they've made. Likewise, what the manager says is that if their interest rates are lower, what it does is that the employment in the country will increase. Jesus Blanquisset tells us about the twist in the case of Carlos Leder, ex-capo of the Medellin cartel. That's right, users of TheTime.com. The most relevant justice news of the day has to do with the release of the former drug trafficker Carlos Leder. The 18th criminal court granted him freedom on Monday morning after considering that his 24-year sentence for illegal possession of weapons had expired years ago. Let's remember that Carlos Leder arrived in the country last Friday afternoon from Germany and was detained at El Dorado International Airport by immigration authorities while they checked his criminal record in the country. Leder spent the last 4 days in the holding area of Dijin, located at the Los Martires police station in downtown Bogota. The defense of Carlos Leder told Time the former drug trafficker's stay in Colombia will be temporary and in the following days he will be returning to Italy. And now with regional news, Nicolás Tamayo from Medellin tells us how the farewell was for the journalist who was murdered in Envigado last Friday. On Sunday, March 30th, funeral services were held for journalist Maria Victoria Correa and her sister Maria Norelia, who were killed by hitmen last Friday, March 28th. The ceremony was attended by journalist groups from the city as well as authorities from Medellin, Itagüí, and Envigado, led by Major Raúl Cardona. Several presumptive tributes were made to the journalist in recognition of her work and trajectory. For now, family and friends remain attentive to the progress of the investigation led by the Attorney General's office, which is working to determine the exact motives behind the strange murder that took place in a bakery in Envigado. Authorities are also continuing in the search for the two possible individuals directly responsible. In Cali news, the city faces a dark Monday due to several emergencies caused by heavy rains. Carolina Bajorquez has more on the story. Every time it rains in Cali, the sewage system overflows. There are floods, and the streams that come down quickly from the hillside area rise dangerously. This situation gets worse in columns 1, 18, and 20, which are mountainous. And this situation took place on March 31st, with emergencies reported in the northern part of the city. For example, on Vasquez Cobo Avenue, a person was recorded in a video that went viral because they were practically sailing through the street in an inflatable boat. There were also emergencies in the downtown area, in the southwest, in the south, the east, and the southeast of Cali. The city government is currently checking which families were affected by this new winter emergency. And we close with Melissa Munera in Bucaramanga, where a soccer fan died after a violent fight. In Bucaramanga, the news of the death of Ivan Rodriguez Martinez, a 29-year-old Loyal Atlético Bucaramanga fan who passed away in the last few hours after a violent fight and a shooting that took place at the Children's Park of Bucaramanga. Apparently, or rather, it's still unknown what happened exactly and what caused the fight and the gunfire between the Leopardo fans. Authorities say they are reviewing security camera footage to identify the people on the motorcycles who fired shots indiscriminately in a place where elderly people and children were gathered on Sunday. And that's how we wrap up Colombia in 5 minutes. Remember, you can follow us at thetime.com in our social media and also at thetime.com YouTube channel. Have a great afternoon. Speed, truth, and reliability of information are vital in the digital age. That's why you should subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay up to date with the latest news, special reports, interviews, documentaries, and much more. We are thetime.com. Subscribe now.